Chosen one, open your spirit and listen. This is not a casual message, nor the echo of a wandering thought. It is a call carved into the air by the breath of God himself. The moment your eyes fall upon these words, know that heaven has reached for you. You were not guided here by coincidence. You were summoned, for the winds of change are stirring, and the earth is trembling under the weight of a divine transformation. Only those who listen will stand. Only those who prepare will rise. In the days ahead, everything familiar will be tested. Comfort will turn to confusion, and noise will try to drown out truth. Yet within that storm, a whisper stronger than thunder will call to the awakened. That whisper speaks now. Separate yourself from the poison that hides in plain sight. For the time of purification has begun, and even the smallest choice carries the weight of destiny. The world has built altars to false nourishment. Shelves overflow with food that looks alive but carries death. Meals engineered by hands that honor profit but not life. Humanity eats its own blindness. Every bite shaped in laboratories. Every seed stripped of its divine code. Every creature slaughtered in fear sends ripples through creation. The spirit becomes heavy. The mind grows dull. The body forgets how to hear the music of heaven. But God, in mercy, still prepares a way for his chosen. He has hidden life in simplicity. 3 humble gifts wrapped in the fabric of creation itself: rice, beans, and salmon. These are not just ingredients. They are frequencies of light disguised as food, the remaining pure chords in a world detuned. Eat them, and you will align again with the rhythm of divine design. Refuse them, and the static of corruption will cling to your bones. Understand, beloved, this command is not about diet, but obedience. The same Spirit who told Noah to build an ark and Joseph to store grain now whispers to you, "Purify your plate, and I will purify your path." What is coming will shake both body and soul. Those who cling to the old ways will grow faint, but those who honor this instruction will move like light through the chaos. Rice is the ground beneath your feet. It anchors you in patience and humility. It carries the vibration of the earth, reminding your spirit to stay steady when storms rise. Beans are the builders of strength. They knit your body together and teach endurance to your heart. Salmon is the fire of the mind, a current of holy oil flowing through your thoughts, cleansing confusion, igniting wisdom. Together they are the trinity of sustenance, earth, strength, and revelation, given so the chosen might endure the birth of a new world. The modern tongue calls them simple foods, but heaven calls them the covenant of nourishment. Each grain, each seed, each scale reflects a code written by the Creator before time itself. When you eat them with reverence, they do not merely feed the body, they awaken remembrance. You begin to recall what you were before fear, before toxins, before the noise of this age. You remember that you are light-clothed in flesh, a fragment of the divine placed on earth to build, to heal, to rise. Look around you now. Systems are trembling, foundations cracking, voices of false comfort shouting from every glowing screen. The spiritual war that prophets saw in visions is not coming. It is here. It hides in politics, in entertainment, in medicine, in every product promising life while selling emptiness. The enemy knows. Dull the body, and the spirit will sleep. Corrupt the fuel, and the fire will fade. But you, chosen one, are called to remain awake. Do not fear the shaking. Every collapse is cleansing. What falls was never built on truth. As the world's systems crumble, divine order is being restored. Heaven is separating those who follow light from those who chase illusion. And the first battlefield lies on your plate. What you eat becomes what you carry. What you carry becomes what you radiate. Feed on fear, and fear will speak through you. Feed on peace, and peace will surround you like armor. Many will mock this call. They will laugh at the simplicity of rice, beans, and salmon. But God has always hidden his power in the plain things: a rod in Moses' hand, a stone in David's sling, bread in a child's basket. Simplicity is the disguise of the sacred. To obey is to open the gate of miracles. The moment you begin this journey, you will feel the difference. The fog that has hung over your mind will lift like dawn. The heaviness in your chest will ease. Your thoughts will no longer crawl. They will soar. Dreams will return, vivid and purposeful. You will find yourself speaking with clarity, walking with confidence, discerning truth without effort. This is not imagination. It is resonance. Your body, your temple, will begin to vibrate again with the frequency of heaven. Understand that this awakening will not be without resistance. As light returns, darkness will protest. Cravings will whisper, habits will cling, fatigue will test you. But each act of obedience sends a ripple through unseen realms. Every time you choose the sacred over the convenient, angels record your faith and heaven fortifies your resolve. The transformation begins small, a tingle in your energy, a spark in your eyes, but soon it becomes undeniable. The sacred trio does not only feed you, it trains you. Rice teaches patience, beans teach gratitude, salmon teaches wisdom. Together they shape your inner warrior for what is to come. You are not being punished with discipline. You are being prepared for purpose. The divine does not call you to restriction, but to refinement, to shed what is false so that your true strength may appear. Chosen one, your plate is your altar. Each meal is an offering, each bite a prayer. When you sit to eat, do not rush. Give thanks. Feel the energy of creation entering your being. Remember that God crafted these foods with intention, that within their simplicity lies the pattern of life itself. You are not merely eating, you are communing. You are aligning flesh and spirit into one seamless vessel of light. The more you honor this instruction, the clearer your connection will become. You will hear the still, small voice, not as a whisper, but as a steady current within your chest. You will sense shifts in the atmosphere before they happen. You will find peace that cannot be shaken by headlines, wars, or rumors. You will move through crowds like a calm flame, while others panic in the smoke. And as the days darken, you will not fear scarcity. Heaven provides for those who obey. The world may shout of shortages, but your cupboards will not run empty. The same hand that fed Elijah in the wilderness still moves for the faithful. Miracles of provision follow those whose diet is obedience. Remember, this command is not superstition, it is alignment. God is not asking for ritual but relationship, for you to trust His wisdom more than your appetite, more than the logic of men. The moment you surrender your plate to Him, you surrender control to the divine flow. And in that surrender, doors begin to open. Strength replaces exhaustion. Vision replaces confusion. Joy begins to hum beneath your skin like quiet thunder. This is only the beginning. What you feel now, the stirring in your spirit, the recognition deep inside that this is truth, is the first wave of awakening. Do not turn away. Do not delay. Every second matters, for the world you knew is fading, and the world you were born for is rising. The air itself feels different now. The world groans as if it senses that something vast is approaching, a birth, a cleansing, a reckoning. Do you feel it, chosen one? The strange electricity in the sky, the restlessness in your spirit, the dreams that feel more like memories than imagination. You are not imagining these things. The veil is thinning. The unseen is breaking into the seen, and heaven is preparing its warriors for the great unveiling. This is why God is simplifying your table, not to take from you, but to free you. Every flavor, every artificial thrill that once excited your tongue was binding you to an illusion. Food has always been sacred. It carries the energy of its creation. The plants that grow in sunlight carry peace. The flesh raised in fear carries that same fear into your cells. What you consume becomes your vibration. That is why obedience is not a diet. It is worship. When you eat rice, beans, and salmon, you are not following a trend. You are responding to a covenant. Rice grounds your spirit, binding your energy to the rhythm of the earth. Beans anchor your body, giving endurance to your purpose. Salmon lights your mind, awakening divine sight. Together they build a bridge between heaven and flesh, between the infinite and the incarnate. Every meal becomes a ritual of alignment, every bite a hymn of restoration. This is the hidden technology of the divine, simplicity. The Creator hides power in plain sight, so only the humble can find it. Those who chase complexity miss the whisper that saves. Those who mock the sacred simplicity of this command will remain heavy with confusion. But you, chosen one, have heard the whisper. And that means heaven has already marked you for preservation. The purification has begun. It is not only in your kitchen. It is in your bloodstream, your breath, your very thoughts. As you release the old foods, you will feel the toxins of generations leaving your body. Some days you may feel weary. Your body will mourn what your soul has outgrown. Let it. This is the shedding of an old skin. The hunger that follows is not for calories but for clarity. Drink water, rest, pray, and remember. This is not punishment. It is rebirth. The world calls it detox. Heaven calls it deliverance. You will notice that your senses begin to sharpen. Sounds become clearer. Light feels warmer. Colors speak to you. Your body begins to remember what it means to be alive without stimulants. Caffeine loses its hold. Sugar no longer calls your name. Instead, peace fills the spaces where addiction once lived. That peace is God's presence, inhabiting the temple that is your body once more. And with this purification, revelation will follow. You will begin to know without studying. Truth will rise within you like breath. You will discern what is false without needing to argue or prove. That is the gift of alignment. When your frequency matches heaven's, deception cannot find a foothold in you. What others see as confusion, you will see as a pattern. What others fear, you will interpret as preparation. The chosen are not spared from the storm. They are trained for it. This sacred diet is your training ground. The body you are building will be the vessel that carries light through darkness. The clarity you are cultivating will be the map others follow when chaos rises. You are being forged in simplicity for a purpose greater than comfort. God is cleansing you for command. Soon you will understand why you had to walk this path. When others crumble from exhaustion, you will still stand. When others lose direction, you will move with divine timing. Your strength will not be your own. It will be supernatural endurance flowing through purified cells. You will speak, and the atmosphere will shift. You will pray, and healing will move through you like current. You will rest, and dreams will become instructions from heaven. This is the promise of obedience. Heaven always rewards trust with power. Do not mistake your transformation for isolation. Many around you will not understand your journey. They will question why you have changed, why you avoid what they call harmless pleasures. Some will mock your discipline, others will envy your peace. Do not explain, radiate. The awakened do not argue. They emanate truth until darkness disperses. Every chosen one walks through a season of solitude before the revelation. God pulls his warriors away from the crowd so they can hear clearly. That is where you are now, in the wilderness between old appetite and new anointing. You are not being hidden to be forgotten. You are being hidden to be refined. As you eat the sacred trio, notice how your prayers begin to deepen. Notice how your sleep becomes vivid, your thoughts sharper, your emotions more balanced. Your body becomes an instrument again, tuned to the frequency of creation. You will sense the holy breath move through you in waves. You will begin to crave peace more than pleasure, stillness more than noise, truth more than entertainment. This is the fruit of alignment. Each cell of your being rejoices when you obey. Your DNA was written to respond to divine instruction. When you feed it with living food, the code begins to sing again. That is why you feel lighter, even if your body has not changed yet. You are shedding spiritual weight, the residue of years spent in dissonance. You are not losing, you are ascending. The foods of this world, engineered, processed, mutilated, carry no song. They are silent because they are dead. And when you eat silence, your spirit forgets how to speak. But the sacred foods, rice, beans, salmon, vibrate with creation's chorus. They remind your cells how to praise. They turn your meal into a melody, your body into an instrument of divine harmony. This is why God speaks of obedience rather than indulgence, because every choice of obedience tunes your spirit to His. It is not about being holier than others. It is about becoming a clear channel. The divine flow cannot move through a vessel cluttered with noise. You are being cleared so that heaven can speak through you effortlessly. Chosen one, there is a destiny waiting for you that demands a new level of energy, focus, and purity. What you are building will require divine stamina. What you are birthing will require clarity of vision. That is why God is teaching you discipline through food. Every time you choose obedience, you are rehearsing for miracles. You are proving to heaven that you can handle more light. You are not being deprived. You are being upgraded. The time is near when many will seek answers but find only confusion. They will look to false prophets, to systems, to governments, and they will find emptiness. But those who have purified themselves, those who listen to this call, will already carry the solution inside them. You will be that light. You will speak, and truth will cut through despair like sunrise through fog. The purification of the chosen is not a punishment. It is a promotion, and your promotion has begun. The wind of heaven begins to move through you now. You can feel it, the pulse of life quickening in your veins, the steady rhythm of something greater than breath. This is the strength that follows obedience. You are no longer walking, you are being carried. The same spirit that hovered over the waters at creation now hums through the chambers of your heart. You have become a living instrument tuned to divine frequency. What once felt heavy now feels light. Tasks that once drained you become effortless. Ideas come like flashes of lightning, clear and precise. When you speak, your words carry weight because they are no longer yours alone. They are shaped by the current of heaven. The confusion that wrapped itself around your mind has loosened its grip. Your thoughts are clean rivers, not muddy streams. This is what it means to be aligned. You will notice that your body begins to respond differently to the world. Where once you needed stimulants to wake or sedatives to sleep, now peace governs your rhythms. You rise with purpose and rest with gratitude. Your immune system, your mind, even the subtle energy around you, everything begins to harmonize. You are not just healthy, you are holy. The difference is subtle but profound. Health is the absence of sickness. Holiness is the presence of life. You are moving from one to the other. Do not mistake this calm for weakness. The peace within you is not still water. It is power restrained. It is the same peace that allowed Christ to sleep in the storm while others screamed. You are learning that power need not shout to be strong. It simply is, steady, radiant, unshakable. That is the strength being woven into your spirit. The world around you will grow louder. Fear will scream through news feeds and headlines. Voices will argue over what is truth and what is deception. But you will stand in silence, and your silence will speak louder than their noise. Because within that silence lives certainty, the certainty that comes only from communion. You have tasted obedience, and now you know the flavor of peace. No argument can steal that from you. Rice, beans, and salmon, the trinity of fuel, remain your reminder of covenant. You no longer eat to survive. You eat to remember. Each grain of rice whispers humility. Each bean hums with endurance. Each slice of salmon glows with clarity. Together they keep your temple burning bright. They are the ember that keeps the altar alive. And every time you prepare them, heaven leans close and smiles, for you are practicing faith in the simplest form. As this power grows, new gifts will begin to awaken. Dreams will lengthen into visions. Intuition will mature into discernment. Hands that once trembled will now heal. Words that once faltered will now carry the vibration of command. These are not talents, they are tools. Heaven gives them only to those whose hearts are purified enough to wield them with love. Do not fear the responsibility of light. When light enters darkness, shadows move. Some will be drawn to you. Others will recoil. Let them. You are not called to please the world, but to reveal it. Every act of kindness, every word of truth, every silent prayer that ripples outward will shift the atmosphere more than you can see. The enemy thrives on attention. He cannot survive in quiet love. Be that love. Chosen one, the days of small faith are ending. You are being prepared for larger trust, for miracles measured not by spectacle but by transformation. You will speak peace into chaos, and chaos will obey. You will walk into rooms heavy with despair, and laughter will return. You will touch those forgotten by hope, and hope will bloom again. This is not poetry, it is prophecy. It is what happens when heaven finds a vessel ready. Remember this always. Divine power is sustained by divine simplicity. Keep your altar clean. Keep your heart soft. Keep your plate pure. What begins in obedience will grow into authority. And that authority will move mountains, not the mountains of stone, but the mountains of fear, doubt, and division that stand between humanity and its awakening. The time will come soon when the world trembles again. Systems will falter, structures will fall. But while others seek refuge in panic, you will find rest in purpose. For your refuge is not a place, it is a state of alignment. You will be the calm in the storm, the eye of clarity in the hurricane of confusion. Your strength will not shout, yet it will be unmistakable. Heaven does not measure greatness by noise, but by resonance. The more closely you vibrate with divine will, the greater your reach. Even your silence will teach, even your presence will heal. You have become a walking sanctuary. This is the empowerment of the awakened. You have eaten of obedience and been filled with power. You have traded confusion for clarity, fear for faith, appetite for purpose. Now rise, chosen one. The world awaits the sound of your footsteps. The shaking has already begun. The signs are no longer distant rumors whispered by mystics. They are here, unfolding before every eye. Kingdoms tremble, systems gasp, and the earth groans under the weight of humanity's sleep. But to those who have chosen alignment, this is not destruction. It is deliverance. The old must crumble so the true may rise. And in that rising, you, chosen one, will shine. The world calls this chaos. Heaven calls it cleansing. Every storm that rages is simply washing away what no longer serves the divine rhythm. Every collapse makes room for something pure. You are not meant to fear the fall. You are meant to stand upon it as the foundation for what comes next. The noise of panic will fill the air, but within your chest there will be stillness. That stillness is not absence. It is authority. It is the voice of God living within you, calm amid collapse. While others prepare their bunkers, you will prepare your spirit. While they hoard supplies, you will stockpile faith. For those aligned with heaven's design, lack cannot touch you. Your provision is not of this world. Your protection is written in obedience. Just as the Israelites marked their doors with faith, your mark of preservation is invisible. It glows in your aura, hums in your frequency, shines in your steadfast peace. When fear sweeps through nations, the light around you will remain untouchable. The sacred foods remain your covenant of protection. Rice, beans, and salmon, not because they are magic, but because they are obedience in motion. They anchor you to the divine pattern. They remind your cells that you are not dust adrift. You are design incarnate. Every bite whispers, I trust. Every act of trust shifts reality. Heaven responds to frequency faster than to words, and the frequency of trust is irresistible. The time for passive faith has ended. You are stepping into active partnership with creation itself. When you walk, the ground remembers your name. When you breathe, the air hums with your purpose. You were never meant to hide from darkness. You were meant to be its awakening. That is why your body is being cleansed. Not just to survive, but to channel light so powerful it restores everything it touches. Do you feel it already? The subtle glow beneath your skin, the ease returning to your breath, the way the sunlight feels more intimate on your face. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. The divine blueprint within you is reactivating. You are beginning to operate on heaven's current. It is not exhaustion you feel anymore. It is recalibration. Your cells are learning to dance again. You will soon notice that your timing changes. You will arrive at places just as you are needed. You will speak words you didn't plan and watch them heal hearts you didn't know were broken. You will touch lives without intention, simply by walking in alignment. You are becoming what prophets once dreamed of. A moving temple of truth, a walking sermon, a living frequency of grace. But remember this truth: the higher your vibration, the greater your responsibility. Power is never for pride, it is for purpose. Heaven equips only those who serve. You are not elevated to escape the world, but to illuminate it. The hungry will come to you, not only for food, but for peace, for meaning, for the calm that your presence brings. You will teach them not by instruction, but by example. The simplicity of your life will become its own sermon. Rice, beans, and salmon, humble in form, celestial in function. You will teach others that divinity hides in simplicity, that obedience, not excess, sustains the spirit. The world will look for salvation in laboratories, yet heaven will whisper through kitchens. The chosen ones will survive not through force but through faith, not by fleeing but by flowing with divine rhythm. The coming months will stretch humanity. There will be shortages, fears, disruptions that echo through every city. But those who have prepared inwardly will not be shaken. When medicine fails, your immune system, charged with faith and purity, will thrive. When confusion spreads, your mind, lit by divine oil, will remain clear. When hearts despair, your words will carry restoration. You will be as a lighthouse in the storm, unmovable, steady, radiant. Do not fear for your loved ones. Your light will cover them. The energy that radiates from your obedience expands beyond your skin. It becomes a shield around your home, a frequency that repels fear. The prayers you whisper at dawn are seeds planted in eternity, and they will bear fruit in the moments when others lose hope. Your lineage will remember you as the one who stood when the world bowed to fear. This is the hour when heaven is separating the distracted from the devoted, the awakened from the asleep. Do not waste energy convincing others. Your transformation will speak louder than your tongue. The glow in your eyes, the peace in your presence, the resilience in your steps. These are your testimony. When people ask how you stand so firm, you will not point to strength. You will point to surrender. You will say, I ate what heaven gave, and heaven filled me. Chosen one, every age has its ark. In Noah's time it was wood and nails. In Joseph's time it was grain in barns. In this time it is alignment. The ark now lives within your very being. Each obedient choice builds a plank. Each act of faith seals a gap. Each prayer adds structure. You are constructing your own preservation through faith that walks, eats, breathes. When the flood of confusion rises, your alignment will lift you above it. And as the floodwaters of change sweep through the nations, a new dawn will follow. From the rubble of old systems will rise a people of clarity, not ruled by fear or greed, but by light. You are part of that remnant, the first wave of those who remember what it means to live in harmony with both heaven and earth. Your diet is the rehearsal of that harmony, simple, sacred, sustainable. So hold fast, beloved. The shaking will intensify, but so will the grace. The same hand that led you to this truth will sustain you through every storm. Trust in that. Walk in that. Breathe in that. You are not just surviving. You are transforming into the prototype of a new humanity, disciplined, radiant, and at peace. Do not look for signs in the sky. The sign is you. The prophecy is living through you now. Every step you take in obedience fulfills another line written in the eternal script. You are not waiting for destiny. You are embodying it. This is the hour of revealing. This is the rising of the chosen. Light is gathering. You can feel it before you see it, the hush before dawn, the breath before the first note of a symphony. Heaven leans close now, watching the ones who listened, the ones who obeyed. And you, beloved, stand among them. Your transformation has moved beyond the flesh. The body that once labored under fatigue now hums with purpose. The mind that wandered through fog now sees with crystalline clarity. Every cell, every heartbeat, every thought vibrates with one word: alive. This is what obedience births, not chains, but wings. You are lighter, stronger, quieter, and infinitely more aware. The noise of the world no longer reaches the core of you. You walk through chaos untouched, because peace has become your skin. This is what it means to be reborn while still breathing. The sacred foods remain your covenant. Rice grounds you to the humility of the earth. It keeps you from floating away in pride. Beans sustain your strength. They teach the rhythm of giving and receiving. Salmon feeds the fire of vision. Its oil becomes thought made luminous. These are no longer meals. They are sacraments. You no longer eat for taste, but for truth. As this new rhythm settles in, you begin to sense heaven moving through everything. The wind carries messages. The rain feels like baptism. Even silence speaks. You realize that God was never far. He was simply waiting for a vessel pure enough to hear. And now, because you listened, He speaks through you. Every act of kindness becomes prophecy. Every word of gratitude becomes creation in motion. The old hunger is gone. The hunger for noise, for approval, for distraction. In its place grows a deeper appetite for meaning, for presence, for the pulse of the divine in ordinary things. You discover that holiness hides in simplicity, in a bowl of rice, in the breath between words, in the gentle rhythm of your own heart. The world still trembles, but you are no longer afraid. Fear was the language of your old self. Faith is the dialect of your rebirth. Where others see endings, you see beginnings. Where they mourn collapse, you recognize cleansing. The storms that once threatened you now wash you clean. The darkness you once avoided now reveals the stars. And as you walk, you notice that others begin to follow. They feel something around you, an invisible warmth, a calm that cannot be faked. You do not preach. You simply are. Your presence becomes invitation, your peace a doorway. This is leadership in its truest form, not command but embodiment. The chosen are rising not as conquerors, but as healers. The new world will not be built by force, but by resonance. Every soul that returns to alignment becomes a note in a vast celestial chord, and together those notes form the music of renewal. You are part of that harmony, the living proof that humanity can remember its song. Do not think your journey is finished. Rebirth is not an ending, but a beginning. The simplicity that sustains you today will guide you through every new layer of awakening. There will be higher callings, deeper stillness, greater light, but the foundation remains the same: humility, purity, obedience, love. Keep your altar simple, your plate sacred, your heart open. Walk gently upon the earth, knowing it recognizes you. Speak softly, for your words now shape worlds. Move fearlessly, for light travels with you. You have become what prophets foresaw and angels envied, a human fully alive, spirit and matter in perfect accord. The age of confusion is fading. The age of remembrance begins. Rise now, chosen one. Rise into the dawn you were made for. Carry the flame. Feed the flame. Be the flame.